I'm excited to have Aimee Beam with us today on Talk of the Aisle. Aimee is the owner of Aimee Beam Brides and Top Knots by Aimee, two incredible brands that help brides look and feel their absolute best, whether through timeless hairstyling or curated beauty experiences built on trust and care. I've known her for a while now, years, and she's built a reputation for more than just beautiful work. She's known for her calm energy, professionalism, and the way she makes every client feel seen and celebrated.
and and someone you can trust.
Trust, yeah, we'll get into that. I'm really looking forward to getting to the show on how you've built your businesses, what inspires you, and the lessons you've learned along the way. So, Aimee, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, guys, thank you for having me. Make me sound so fancy. I appreciate
You
it.
are fancy, girl.
No, I'm so happy to be here today to share just tips for future brides, wisdom, lessons learned, and I'm a huge fan of you guys and just love collaborating together. So thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really lovely having um, creatives and vendors that have been in the industry almost as long as us or around the same duration as us, because I find that there's so much learned experience that comes with being in this industry for so long, and you have that experience. So we're really grateful for you to be here and share some of it. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, one day I'll write a book. I
Yeah.
just feel like we all could.
Oh my God, it could be a
I feel like
collaboration.
we all could write a book based on just the challenges, but the amazing experiences. Yeah, learned a lot over the years. Really grateful for
Yeah.
it all.
And it's such a unique industry, and I feel like people outside of it, there's so many assumptions are easy to get wrong. So that's why it's always like so many wedding vendors become close and they become friends because it's like we
We
understand
get
each
it.
other,
We
you
see
know?
you.
Absolutely, absolutely. If I never get asked again, what do I do Monday through Friday when I'm not working weddings? I mean, my wedding friends get it, my wedding pros get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, your camaraderie is great because owning a business is awesome, and it's given me like I could cry over it, like truly the life I've dreamed about,
Yeah.
when I was in college and in my early 20s. But it's also lonely at times, and it's so nice to have people like you, Melissa, just that you guys get it. I don't have to kind of bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
You understand, just the all that comes with owning a wedding business.
Yeah.
And all the good always for me outweighs some of the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like starting back to the beginning. What year did you start your business?
I started my business back in 2012, right after I graduated beauty school. I did not go to beauty school to own a wedding business, and I feel like this story is not uncommon. I went to beauty school to hopefully open, I had dreams of opening a hair salon. I always wanted to work for myself, and weddings found me by mistake. I got my license in June, and the I was literally out in Philadelphia. That's where I was living at the time. And by chance, I met a freelance makeup artist, and she had a client waiting for me. And she connected me that weekend with the client, and client hired me. I never had worked a hair trial before. I was sweating so bad, and I'm not a sweater, but I like just felt so nervous and excited by this opportunity. I didn't even know this world existed. I was 24, really young, really eager, and I ended up getting hired by the bride. And I worked that first wedding. I brought all my gal pals from beauty school. The funny part about this is I lived in Philadelphia. The wedding was at the Hotel Monaco. And I was so nervous about everybody being on time and being so professional that I actually drove to South Jersey, where beauty school was, to pick them up. And I drove all three of us to the Hotel Monaco because I cared that deeply about making such a good first impression.
Wow.
That was not sustainable. That was the
Yeah.
first and last time I ever did
Yeah.
that. But I worked the first wedding, and it's everything that everybody talks about. I got hooked. I fell in love with it. And I said, I'm not going to open a salon. I want to see if there's really something here. And got my second wedding from that first wedding. And I have a degree in journalism and business, and I knew how to build a website. Not well, but I knew how to
Yeah.
build a website. I had to pay $25 a photo back in 2012 from that first wedding. And that felt very expensive as a 20 something. And I bought like 30 photos and I built my first website from that. And then the rest they say is history. But that was my very first wedding and how I got my start. It's been an incredible journey because now I have a team of 17 plus artists. We do, depending on the year, between 150 to 200 weddings. And then I offer a concierge high touch experience with me personally, which includes all day touch ups and hairstyle changes and styling for the welcome party, rehearsal, dinner. So it's just really interesting to see how the business has transformed over the years. And I'm so grateful for my team. And yeah, it's very humbling to think back about how it started and, picture me driving at 6 in the morning to pick up my artists so that we could all be on time together at that first wedding so long ago.
Yeah.
I love origin stories so much because we all kind of, in ways, have like similar stories, but very different, but similar in that like we just kind of fall into it.
Right, yeah. And kind
Yeah.
of like, and we fumble our way through it.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so funny to look back and just think about those very humble beginnings. It's awesome. But what I will say is like that care and detail that I had even back then I lived less than a mile from where my first wedding was, but I drove to pick up my team. I'd like to think I still have that same level of intention, care, like attention to detail, and just wanting to deliver that amazing experience for my brides. Like what I cared about 12 years ago, I still care deeply about today for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I see that when we work together. And I
Oh, thanks, guys.
and I see that reflection in the brides that you work with. Because I'm with them long after,
Yeah.
you're with them. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you're with
yeah,
them sometimes during the whole day too, but like I get to hear their reflections of like how beautiful they feel and how amazing it was to work with you.
Well,
And
and then like the endless compliments they get,
yes,
you
and I'm
know?
around that and I'm just like, yes, hype her up because like
Yeah.
every woman deserves to be hyped up. Always.
absolutely. I mean, that's in the core of what we do. Like, we really deeply care about wanting to make people look and feel their best. And I know we're going to get into this, but like, you have to keep in mind as a bride that we are the first vendor, hair and makeup, that sees you, experiences you, like touches you on your wedding day. And if you don't hire wisely or hire somebody that matches your energy that you want for the day of your wedding, I believe hair and makeup should be one of the most important vendors that you're considering, not just based on artistic talent and hairstyling, but also on the guest experience and customer service and also just energy, because that's who's going to be with you from 6, 7 in the morning up until you're putting on your dress. And if your energy isn't right and if you're not feeling and looking your best, I think your whole day may not be what you envision.
Yeah.
So I think it's extremely important to consider the whole package. And when I mean the whole package, personality style, team guest experience training, just to make sure that everything is seamless and calm. Because the last thing you want to be worried about is not having that right energy in the room on the day of your wedding. I think it could really make or break your entire day.
Yeah, you set the tone of
Yeah.
the day.
Absolutely.
We had a wedding earlier this year, and the team they had, the energy wasn't quite right, and
Sure.
it cascaded into chaos.
Yeah, there was a
And
spiral.
I
and
hate hearing that because,
yeah, and like we had to literally leave like the hotel room and give them like 30 minutes to like it was just so
sure.
overwhelming and just, and for us, like we're energy people in general, but like that's something I think it's easy to underestimate as a bride and groom is like thinking not just talent, but also like the energy of
Mhm.
the team that you get to work with.
Absolutely.
It's so important
Abs
and it's so
absolutely.
valued.
Yeah, and for our team, it's always client first. There are no egos. We don't run on our own timelines. I have a full-time admin. And I always think that's a great question couples should be considering, so that, if I am busy working with a client or on site for, delivering a wedding experience, I have someone dedicated on my team, and all teams work different, but who's only in charge of logistics and operations. Shout out to Sean, my right hand girl, my assistant. But having these back end systems is so important when you're dealing with the volume of weddings that my team is dealing with, because we really care about sticking to the agreed upon timeline, which doesn't sound as sexy, but it's so imperative for keeping the entire day running smoothly, because you don't, again, want to start your wedding day by running late because of hair and makeup.
Mm-hmm.
We agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. Which, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
Well, I was gonna say, like, because and that's something that we bring up to our clients, even before we book. Like during the meeting, we talk about other vendors and
mm-hmm.
how every vendor is so important. And it's easy to, I think, dismiss hair and makeup in a lot of ways and be like, oh, if they're good, they're good. But I'm like, they're the beginning. If they don't know how to schedule properly, or they have a stylist who's late or
Right.
something like that, then that's a cascading effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we care deeply about what I think it's so important for couples to understand, and also um, wedding vendors to understand, is that a wedding day, in my opinion, is an extreme group project, and we're all working together to serve the client and to serve the bride. And that comes down to ending services on time, and setting a great energy the morning of the wedding, because we're all working together to serve the client. If I have budgeted 45 minutes for a bridesmaid, yes, I could take 2 hours to make it the best work of my life, but I'm working on a wedding day timeline, and I have the skill set and training and professionalism to know my timing and to know what I can deliver that's going to make the client happy within that time frame. And I think it's just so important that all vendors, as best as possible. And that's why we love working with you guys and so many of our respected vendors from over the past decade plus, because I feel like a lot of my clients at this point in my career, and for my team as well, like we're attracting the same level of vendors and professionalism. So again, if your photographer or videographer or wedding planner is recommending an edited list of preferred vendors, there's probably a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm so honored that I'm on a bunch of these lists, because you can see the difference when vendors who are used to working together do come together for these weddings. Like everything is, in my professional experience, usually a lot more seamless.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you should trust your vendors,
Yeah.
trust your planners, trust your photographers, trust your venue coordinators. If people are on their lists, it's on it for a reason, and it's not just because they're getting a kickback, or like I never get kickbacks, but I'm just saying like there's a reason
Yeah.
beyond
Yeah.
why those vendors are on the list.
Yeah, yeah. It's to protect your own clients from bad experiences. Like we have a whole list of people we refer, and we're like, this is just, because this is people we trust and
Yeah,
we
we
know
get
would
nothing
help.
from it.
Yeah, we get
No,
nothing but like
Ex-
peace of
people
mind.
ask me
Peace
all
of
the
mind.
time. Yes, no,
Yeah,
I get nothing from it. It's just who I love working with,
Right,
yeah,
and
right.
who I believe in my heart will make your day just
yeah,
memorable. And our clients invest a lot of time, money, energy into their wedding days, and that comes with, at least in my opinion, like a very heavy responsibility. I feel like I want to
Absolutely.
deliver for every client every day of our job, which I think people don't understand in the wedding industry. Every day of work for us, for me and you, is someone's most important day of their life, and I reiterate that to my team, and I feel it in my heart. But I feel such a privilege to be a part of these such special moments, and wanting to always, perform my best, and not just do great hair, but again, make the entire day and the entire vision come together.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So to kind of like go along with that idea, and maybe you've touched on this a little bit, but like what part of your work at this point like lights you up? Like,
Sure. I mean, all of it lights me up, and I feel so grateful for that. And that's such a corny response, but I feel so grateful that I find true meaning in the work I do, all these years later, because it's a lot of work to own your own business and a lot of work to work in the wedding industry. But the professional fulfillment and personal fulfillment I feel is truly unmatched. I feel a lot of meaning in what I do day to day, and I'm so grateful to my clients and my team for that, for sure. Specifically, what lights me up, I love still after all this time seeing a client see herself in her wedding dress with her hair, with her makeup done, and truly feeling like the best version of themselves. There's no greater feeling, and it's really what has fueled me over the years. I think it's what has attracted such a large team to work under me because we really, really believe in trying to provide that high touch experience to every client to make them look and feel their best than they've ever felt in their lives. And watching them step into that dress and see themselves, it's just really beautiful and it's really special for
I
sure.
love that moment too. As a photographer, like you just see like every single moment up into that point before they get into that dress is like also super sweet. But when that moment happens, it's like literally magic.
I feel
And it's
like
like,
it,
oh,
it's kind of,
So great.
in a lot of ways, I feel like it's like that's the start of the day for the
that's the start
bride.
of the day.
Like
Yep.
that, she's ready.
Yeah.
In my experience, when a bride steps into her dress and sees herself for the first time, like it really clicks like today I'm getting married and today I'm
Yeah.
starting that next big chapter in my life. And
Yes.
again, I'm a team player, and if I can play a small part in my clients having that experience, like
Yeah.
that's amazing. And it's truly an honor.
Yeah. And that's usually when the tears will start. And then we're like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, no, no. Yeah,
Amy!
Oh my
yeah.
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
So just to compliment you, like and I think we're similar in this way. You romanticize what
Yeah.
you do, which I
Yeah.
think we should, because again, it's easy from our perspective. I think a lot of vendors to be like, oh, I have to work, or like it's just another wedding. But to your point earlier, this is their only wedding or first wedding
Yep.
most times. Like this is like a once in a lifetime day for them.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yep.
it's easy for, I think, some people on our side to kind of forget that.
Mhm.
But I think that comes through in how you operate your business and how you communicate with people, and
Yeah.
I think that's really important. So you're like 12, I think 12, 13 years into your business, and
Yeah.
you're probably more passionate now than you were in the
Yes,
beginning,
we are for sure.
you know?
I am absolutely. And I love that you say romanticizing. Yes, I mean, I feel I still feel so grateful that this is what I get to do for a living. And I think that passion has what's fueled me over the years,
Yeah. And
for
people
sure.
feel that.
I really value like that we get to be also part of their family for the day. Michael and Melissa know this, but I am a huge family person, come from a big Italian family. And I feel, of course, I love what I do. I love creating beautiful hair and styling. I love leading a team. I love being a part of weddings. They're so beautiful and happy. But it's also beyond that for me. This job is like literally catered to my personality in that I am spend so much time when I'm not working with my extended family and with my family, and that's what fills me up on the back end. That I feel like also when I step into a wedding morning, that I get to be a part of someone's family for the day, and I'm so family focused. It's just a bonus for me. I love being a part of my brides' families. My high touch experience with Aimee Beam Brides, I am on Zoom calls with my clients before we even meet in person. Then we meet in person. And in a lot of cases, my Aimee Beam Brides clients are hiring me for a welcome party and a rehearsal dinner and then the wedding day. So now I'm spending not just a wedding morning with you, but I'm spending three
Oh
days with
my
you.
God.
And in a lot of those cases, I'm doing a hairstyle change late at night. So what's evolved over my career is it's not just this wedding morning, but it's like being with a part of someone's family for multiple days. And if I'm staying for touch ups beyond the 3 hours that are included with my minimum services, I'm staying to see the ceremony. I'm staying to see all those big moments, the first look, bridal portraits, dad seeing the bride for the first time. And it's a wonderful evolution in my career because I started my career the 5 hours, the morning only, and now to get to extend the parts that I value the most, being welcomed into someone's family, getting to be in the front row on your most important day, and just to support you and make sure that you not only love your look at noon, but you continue to feel supported and elevated throughout the day and taken care of. It's a great feeling. And I just really love to serve my clients, and getting to be a part of their family is for a day is just like a bonus. And
Yeah.
it just really fuels me up.
Yeah, it's such an honor. It really is.
Yeah.
So, when couples are choosing you for a hair and makeup artist, or just choosing a hair and makeup artist in general, what are some questions that they should be asking?
Um, I think what's something that's really important when hiring a hair and makeup artist is that you're not just hiring somebody for their portfolio, but you're also hiring somebody for, again, we've touched on this, but for their energy for the whole day. You have to keep in mind that hair and makeup is the first vendor that's going to see you, experience you, touch you on the wedding day, and hiring the wrong team or artist like could like derail everything for the entire day.
Yeah, we concur. Uh,
And ways to like make sure that you're hiring the right hair and makeup team. I know this isn't an option for all teams, but if there's a way to take a phone call before you book, if there's a way to get on a Zoom
Mhm.
before you book,
yeah,
I think this is a great way to cross check. Like, yes, I love your portfolio online, but do our energies match? Do we vibe?
Yeah, trust the
right.
You know,
vibes.
Yeah,
yeah. So over the years, so I naturally actually gravitate towards like I'm a high energy person. I'm very awake in the morning. Being a hair and makeup pro, actually, not all my friends are morning people, but I am a morning person through and through. But I have over the years, like I can match an energy in the room. Like if your vibe is like you want things really calm
Yeah.
and quiet. And if you're feeling anxious about the day, like I know that like we might be chit chat, we might not want to talk a lot, and you might want to really like journal or just be with your mom and your sisters. And I will let that space like breathe for you. But I also have clients, and this is probably my natural energy, that are, pumping millennial bangers when I walk in the room and they're popping champagne, and I am here for the party
yeah,
always.
yeah, yeah,
So my team is so wonderful, but we do even training down to that detail that like you're not going to walk into every single wedding morning and it's going to be like at a level 10
Yeah.
up here. Like our job
Mhm.
is to just help facilitate whatever morning
yeah,
you want to have. And I know that not every team like thinks like that. And I'm just so proud of the culture we've created to like even down to that detail, be training our team to make sure that like we're matching energies
Yeah.
and that our job again is to serve the client. So
yeah,
I'm here for all of it, especially my girls that want to have a dance party in their hair and
yeah,
makeup and
Yeah.
their jammies in the morning. Like I'm here for all the
yeah.
high vibes, but I will keep you on time and I will keep you on schedule.
Right.
I feel
Yeah,
like we have similar gifts, Amy. Like,
yeah,
I'm also a very high vibe person. Love a
Yes,
good dance floor, love some
yes,
bangers. But I think like being able to read the room and
mm,
match
yeah,
energies is such a beautiful gift that not every, I mean, maybe everyone has, but like not many people like tap into. And it's so important. Like you don't want to come in like if it's a very calm, serene, environment. You don't want to come in like blazing high and like
yeah,
shift that. You want to
right.
add
yeah,
to that.
yeah,
Same thing if you're coming into a stressful situation. Like you want to be able to know like how to add that breath and calmness to
yes.
help ease the situation.
Yeah. So we can, there's lots of ways to mitigate that too. We can, if the bride's feeling overwhelmed, normally, like I recommend that the bride's like in the group, like with her friends and family, like we want to keep it, an intimate, like group situation. But there's also cases where if you're feeling overwhelmed, like we can move to a different space. We can provide you with what you need, that extra
Yeah,
level of support, because again, you need to set your entire day. We get that privilege to help like guide you through that morning,
Mhm.
and we will do what we need to do to help calm the energy as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just really rare. We've had several conversations recently with people about like experiences we had where we were working alongside a vendor who did not kind of read the room and didn't didn't pick up on
Yeah. It seems
obvious
so
things.
basic, but it's not.
I think,
It's
yeah, I don't know if it's a personality type or, whatever it is, but I think we're definitely aligned in that. But I think that's half the equation,
yeah.
because something that we've always believed and we share with our couples is that like the experience you have with us is going to completely affect how you feel about our work,
Mhm.
because
Right. Totally.
you could be the most talented, hair and makeup artist, but if you are really annoying or pushy or
Bad vibes
mean,
all around.
Yes.
then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or if you're not responding to emails or texts, or
Yeah.
I've heard it all.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
That, God, I hope they just show up. And, you know, um,
right.
I'm really big with communication. And yeah, no, I want my clients to, of course, feel like, yes, our team will be there and all those things. But
Yeah,
I think the whole piece of the puzzle affects everything for
Yeah.
sure.
it's
The other thing yeah, no, go on.
I was going to say, I think that is a bit unique to our industry too. And what makes it interesting is that one, it generally speaking is a low bar to entry to be able to be like, oh, I have the skill, I want to start doing it.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it requires you to be really good at a lot of things. So,
sure.
and with there being so many artists in our industry, I think they do
Right.
struggle with more of the kind of
The
back end side of
business side.
things.
Yeah.
So it kind of you have to be able to be willing to work on all of that and consider it as far as what you're delivering.
Yeah, and I applaud, like I mean, I will cheer on new talent entering the industry. Like this industry has done so much for me, and I always think that there's enough clients to go around. But yeah, no, your back end, you're going to get to a point if you're a new artist out there, if you're listening, where you're going to need some, whether it's virtual admin support, definitely systems, definitely cross-checking, electronic contracts, all these things play such an important role into the entire wedding day experience. So yeah, really great insights, Michael, that you need to think about the whole picture because your client needs to feel supported, not just when you show up on the wedding day, but we get hired. It's changed over the years. We used to get hired about a year and a half in advance, and now I feel like we're mostly getting hired between 9 months and 1 year out for the wedding. It's really changed, and honestly, we're even still having clients now 6 months before the wedding. I just hired a client just hired me yesterday for a wedding next month. So,
Wow.
my other piece of advice to wedding pros would be as adaptable as you can because this is definitely not the market
Yeah.
that I entered. I mean, to be hired 4 weeks out from now, and I'm so excited, Christine, to work with you. But to be hired, just 4 weeks out, is not normal. But I'm adaptable and I'm here, and I'm going to deliver that same experience even on a very short timeline for a
Yeah.
client
What
as
is
well.
normal anymore in our industry, to be
We
honest?
we don't know
Yeah.
yet.
The
Yeah.
the other big question I also think that couples should be asking, and you hate to think about backup plans. I am always curious on your guys' take on this. But for hair and makeup, I think there's a lot of amazing solo artists, and again, this is no shade to solo artists out there, but I do think it's important if you are going to be considering hiring a solo artist versus a hair and makeup team that does have a team that sits under the owner, what is the backup plan? Because I've owned my business through COVID, through the birth of 3 children. I have 17 artists on my team, and I would love to say that emergencies and life doesn't happen. If anything, that those really challenging times during COVID taught us when I was swapping artists in and out based on the latest government advice.
Yeah.
That taught me that was actually such a good lesson, even though that was such a hard, dark time that I want to black out and never relive or forget. But it taught me so much about being adaptable
Yeah.
and that this is why I have a team and why when I say that I train and touch every artist on the team and make sure that they feel supported and have the skill set to deliver the experience to the client. Again, like sure, the exact personality that you were hoping to get with your assigned lead artist, like I understand that that can be a disappointment, but in an emergency or in something that's completely out of our control, what I love about having a team is that like in an emergency, I feel really good. Like when I talk to prospective clients that hey, we never plan on emergencies. And they really like truly rarely happen, like very rarely,
Yeah.
maybe once every other year, I'm talking,
Yeah.
and 200 weddings, that we have the ability, if needed in an emergency, to have an amazing backup plan for you. I think that's a really important question. And I would love to hear your thoughts on, yeah, if you guys think a backup plan is good to have, because I don't
Absolutely.
like to harp on that, but I also want to be real that like emergencies have happened,
Yes,
and
life
I'm great,
happens.
and I'm grateful for COVID for teaching me that I just got a much thicker skin with like being more adaptable, and
Yep.
that the sky wasn't always falling. And I feel so like assured and grateful to have such a great backup plan for my clients. Because again, I don't want to disappoint anybody. This is their
Yeah.
most important day of their life.
All right. And I think just like that last sentence you said, this is one of the most important days of their life, is why there should be a backup plan,
Yes.
right? Like we've always had, that's why we have a team as well.
Yeah.
There's always a team member or a few team members available on a
Yeah.
given date. And again, like we don't plan for
No,
extreme
I
cases
don't plan
to
for
happen.
any of it.
No, no, but life happens. And
Yeah.
again, like a lot of those are out of our control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And part of our responsibility as a business owner
absolutely.
is to care for our couples by
Yes.
making sure that they are still taken care of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, and COVID,
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a great
That
lesson from COVID, it's just like, yes,
it
we
just
need to
it
be
taught me to be
adaptable.
adaptable, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
taught me so this is why I have these backup plans. I never really had to use them before, but we let them fly, and they literally we didn't miss a beat.
Same. Yeah.
And took me 2 years to recover from all that. But yes.
Yeah.
Are we still
Well,
recovering? I don't
well,
know.
today, Melissa is photographing a past two was going to be client from COVID, so
Yeah,
she's
and
actually
they had
doing
to
a
cancel,
shoot with them
and
today.
yeah, and so I'm honoring like their deposit. I was like, when you guys decide to get married, like again, we
My
can.
gosh.
And then
Isn't that incredible?
they just eloped, and now they have two babies, and they're like, can we still use that?
Uh,
Yeah.
Can we honor
that's
that?
such a
I'm like,
that's
sure, of
such a
course.
testament to like what you're willing to honor though. And
Yeah,
bravo to you. That's
yeah,
Yeah.
not every vendor would do that. And that just I
yeah,
think shows that you're a good human in addition to everything you're,
Yeah.
what you charge for your couples, and the services you provide. And I think being a good human also goes a long way.
I
So,
agree.
when emergencies happen, know that I'm a good human at heart, and hopefully you're
Yes,
picking vendors
Obviously.
that are good humans, because they're
Yeah.
gonna they're gonna move mountains to make it right if
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
there's an
Right.
emergency.
yeah,
You're a people first company.
yeah,
That's I think
Absolutely.
like and
In
we're
my
this
core.
yeah,
yeah. And I think we all get lit up by those connections and relationships, and it feels good to
absolutely.
do the right thing. And even though maybe short term there's inconveniences or things that might hurt us in some ways, long term it's always the right thing to do. And I think we credit a lot of our success to just kind of doing right by people, no matter what.
It
Um,
always comes back.
Yeah. And also for me, doing right by my team, I think is so
Yes,
important
yes,
too.
Taking
yep,
care of your team, yes.
yep,
Yeah, taking care of my
Taking,
team, because if my team is really happy and I work really hard at that, I know that they will also like in their heart feel so good about working with me and
yep,
for me, that that's going to translate to their
yep.
couples as
And
well.
they're gonna
So
show up for
yeah,
yeah,
you and for your couple.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
that's invaluable for sure.
yeah. So we are obviously photographers and videographers.
yeah.
Hmm.
What, from your perspective, what helps or hinders the flow of working with photographers and videographers?
Love my photographers and videographers, because without you guys, I wouldn't have all the beautiful content that helps me secure new clients. You're one of the first hires on a bride and groom's list. So again, I appreciate you, all my photographer and videographer friends, their referrals, because photographers and videographers are probably after the venue, it's you're either then you know, working with a wedding planner, you're hiring your photographer.
Yeah.
So again, I think what helps so much is the more, if you're coming from the wedding vendor side, the more relationships you can build, positive relationships. Again, working in that group team environment, having each other's backs, that means staying on time. That means, this sounds so basic, but being polite and courteous to one another,
Kind,
and
kindest.
Yeah.
knowing that you're on the same team
Yeah.
for the day. The more, in my opinion, that wedding vendors can have a team collaborative spirit, the more that we can all remember that, in addition to being artists in our own right, that we're working together for this couple to serve them and deliver like the best experience of their life, and to capture all those amazing moments and to make sure they look and feel their best. The more we can have an open line of communication and be true team players to one another, and that is from the hair and makeup side, showing up on time, being on time, ending services on time. Um, Also, making sure if anybody needs a hair adjustment, like meeting that with grace and, eager to please. Because that all affects then how the clients are going to show up in the photos, and
Yeah.
how the clients' attitudes are going to be for the rest of the day. So again, I really always talk to my team about being mindful that I know it's a pain to redo a bridesmaid's hair. I know that's a pain.
Yeah.
But if you take that steps to do that, and we always buffer in time to do that, we expect people, they're meeting us for the first time. Yes,
Yeah.
we've had our bridal hair trials, but we didn't do a trial on all 12 of the women we're serving. So we anticipate, and we want clients to tell us, do you want something adjusted? Like, we will meet that with a smile. We will not roll our eyes. We will happily make adjustments, because we want then to set up for photo and video, and for the rest of the day, everyone being happy and everyone, being their best selves for that bride and groom. So that's like the entire mindset you have to have, in my opinion. And when I stay on site all day for touch-ups, I'm so mindful that once the photo team steps in, like, you're the main character I am supporting. I am gonna, of course, make hair adjustments. My client hired me to do touch-ups all day, so I'm there. I need that mutual respect that, like, I'm being paid to be here to continue to serve and to fix hair and to do touch-ups. I also understand there's like there's a delicate line of, I'm a supporting character
Yeah.
in that moment, and I'm going to let you guys shine. And I'm not going to be, stepping in and trying to get more content. And, just because I'm there, like my client has hired now photo and video to get the content and get the videos and get the photos. I am there to just make sure the hair continues to look good, which also goes a long way. It keeps clients looking and feeling their best, and it's such a privilege.
The what you said about like redoing the makeup for bridesmaid, I think, and just saying like, yes, like how can I help? How can I be of service? And kind of how that
Yes.
sets a tone. I think the parallel for us is when we have guests, whether family or friends, asking us for, a specific photo. I did a LinkedIn photo recently.
A lot of
I was at
want LinkedIn photos.
I was at a wedding on Saturday, and the mother of the bride was asking for new headshots for her dating profile. And we're like, yes, like absolutely.
Yes.
Or when this happened to me on Saturday, I was filming, and a random relative pulled me on the dance floor to the grandmother dancing. And so I filmed her and I just thanked her, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much, because we can't know everything that's happening all around all the
Sure.
time. So like, we want to be as accommodating as possible, because even though that person might not go to the bride and groom and be like, hey, I really appreciate they did this for us. I just feel like from an energy perspective, it's just kind of constantly adding this positivity into everything.
Yeah. And bravo to you guys. Like that really like is what set you guys apart. You're not just there to, do a specific shot list, but you're there to get all those in between moments. And, you're seasoned pros by this point. And yeah, I love watching you guys work. You're just incredible. And one thing I think that photographers or videographers like could get a bad rap with, and you guys do not do this.
Taking
but
notes.
Listen, I love to be on time, and I'm actually like, it's so annoying. I'm usually 20 minutes early, and I'll always respect my clients. If I show up early, listen, we're not supposed to start till 8 o'clock. I'm not going to make people sit down in a chair, even though I would love to. I would love extra time.
Yeah.
Your artists love extra time. I love buffer. I love more time to be extra creative, but I also will respect that this is their day and and we're going to move at the pace within reason to what we agreed to, because I got to
Yeah,
keep
of
people on
course.
a timeline. But I always show up early. So what I will say is when videographers or photographers show up early, good job, guys. You're just killing it ahead of the schedule. Um, Also, that mutual respect though of your hair and makeup artist. If you told hair and makeup that you don't expect the bride to be ready and the bridesmaids to be ready until 12:30, but you get there at 11 or 11:30 to start flat lays. One of my biggest pet peeves is give me until 12:30 if that's what
Yeah.
we agreed on. Just
Yeah.
because you're here early and the bride, from your perspective, is looking done and finished. I would love that mutual two-way respect because my team is always so focused. We know the end time. We know the end time inside and out, backwards. We don't need to be asked by the planner, like, how we feeling on time? Like we know the time. And we want to keep everybody calm and we always budget for buffer and we're working towards that agreed upon end time. But when another vendor shows up early and wants to get started or wants to pull the
Mm,
bride for other stuff, just that mutual respect of,
yeah.
let us do our work until, you know,
Yeah.
the agreed upon time,
Yeah.
just so that we could really do those finishing touches, final details, those extras that really make our clients shine.
I, I,
Yeah.
I'd never, it's funny because I just never would have thought about it from your perspective, and I think we're very timeline driven as well,
Yeah.
sometimes more than planners. And I'm just like, so, but like if we have time, I think for us, the way that if we have any input on a timeline, it's to build in buffer so that we can
Yeah.
really flow through
Us
the
too.
day.
Always.
Um,
Because
but
yeah, we don't want to be so exact. Like we're not
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
yeah,
it's 9:01, you're not in the chair. But like we know
yeah,
the end time. Like we know the
yes,
overall
yeah,
end
like the
time.
hard stop.
Yeah.
And we've accounted for buffers. Like I'll work with planners who like they see that like we might be running 10
Mm,
minutes behind, not because we started late, but just because someone had a lot more hair or clients
yeah,
didn't follow the hair prep. We're
Yeah.
never going to shame a client.
yeah,
In that like you didn't follow the hair prep, but that's going to take extra time. We account for this,
Yeah.
but I'm never going to make a bride worried because my job is I want my clients to put down the binder and to put down
Right.
the timeline and to
Right.
let your vendors
yeah,
shine and let your vendors guide you through the day.
Yeah.
And I don't want someone asking me in front of a bride, like, how are we feeling on time? Because I'm only gonna ever have one answer for you. I feel great about the time.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
if I'm texting my team on the side, like pick it up, or like, we
yes,
have things in place to, make sure we're not coming off the stage.
yes,
We're
yeah,
not, we're not letting our guard down and letting
Right.
people know if we are worried about time. Like,
We're
we're
holding
gonna
it
we're gonna
in.
make it up. Yes.
I
yeah,
hold in a lot on
yeah,
our
Yes.
wedding day. And
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
everything's great.
everything's
yeah,
great. Like
You
always.
will
we're
hear
not,
from me if you need to that if I'm really worried, but I will say the planners is if I'm really worried if something's gone really off track, like of course I'm a professional. Like
yeah.
I will pull you aside away
Yes,
from the client and tell you that,
Right.
right.
we're gonna need 10 more minutes.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
like when we structure our timeline for photo, there's always buffer built into it because and we say this often, like we've never been to a wedding where everything went perfectly.
Of
Like it
course,
just
never.
especially
Anyone's
like
lying to you that tells
yeah,
you that
yeah,
whenever there's so
perfect.
many humans involved and so many variables and pieces, like things
And
are
there's so much
bound.
emotion. Like
Right,
it's a
right,
very high emotion day.
right,
Yeah.
and
right.
and and I think it's also easy to forget that each individual vendor also has their own life and their own things going on, and sometimes you can pick up on like they're having maybe a bad morning or something's going on, but like it's kind of like, all right, it's showtime,
Yeah.
and when you need
Yes.
to address something, like you said, you do it professionally. So it's
Mhm.
like you're leading
Yeah.
with a little bit more of your head than your heart at that point, but
Yep.
I think that's why it's valuable the way that we operate in that way.
Yep. Yep.
But
For
the
sure.
amount of times that I hear brides say on their wedding day, like, how are we on time? Honey, you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that. Like, we are right on time. Like,
If you hire the right vendors, you will not have to hold a timeline sheet. And I
Yeah.
would just encourage you to
absolutely.
try and be in the moment because the best thing you can do for yourself as a bride is to hire the right vendors so that you can be in the moment and you
Yes.
don't have to be the planner and you don't have
Yeah.
to be the cruise director. And
Yeah.
I know it's so hard because our clients work so hard on planning all
Yes.
these details and it's so hard to kind of like
Let that
let
control go.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. And I have clients that can't let it go. And at that point, like I'm not fighting you. You want to
Yeah.
hold your
Yeah.
timeline, you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
will try my best to make you feel assured that like I got
Yeah.
you, my team's got you. And I know if you're working with Michael and Melissa, if you're working with people who are on my recommended vendor list,
Yeah.
like you are in great hands. And that's the best thing you can do in hiring a vendor is know that like you're not just hiring them for their artistic talent, that you're hiring them to like be your cruise directors throughout the day so that you can be in the moment and enjoy all this hard work that
Yeah.
you've done the past 9, 12, 18 months.
Right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if, our photo timeline gets so pushed back and I have half the time with my couples, like this is our 17th year.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we have seen it all. We
We
have
got
been
you.
through it
Yeah.
all. Like
Yeah.
I can get people comfortable in front of the camera like that. Like I am
Yeah.
not worried. You do not
Yeah.
have
And
to be
and
worried.
sometimes it's almost easier when you have less time because
For sure.
everything we do is like flow based with shooting
Mhm.
portraits. So like it's just the constant movement, and
Yeah.
couples are just like, oh, this is great. Oh, that's it. We're done. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's move
We
on.
got
And
gold.
to
Go.
yeah, and to parlay off of so that's what experience brings also. So when couples are considering vendors, it's not always by the amount of years in business. Like, I
Fair.
get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you hire a team, in my opinion, that has a lot of experience, they've seen a lot and they know how to adapt and again, like jump over those hurdles. Michael, you saying that, or Melissa, when you were saying that, like you can get people comfortable really quick. And if you don't have as much time, like, you're a seasoned pro, so you can do it
Yeah.
in a faster, more compressed time. And I think that's so important. So a really short story from over the weekend. There was working in downtown Philadelphia over the weekend was really challenging.
Yep.
There was protest and there were bike races. Every single road to the hotel we needed to get to was blocked off. I knew it was going to be challenging, and I had a route that was promised that would be available, and that route wasn't available. There's just very little, like that was completely out of our control. I was able to sweet talk the police officer to let me through the barricades. My team artist was not as successful with the sweet talking and had to park really far away and had to walk really far. And again, kudos to my team member. She showed up just with a smile on her face. She was an hour late and she still did all of her services and ended 20 minutes early because that's what you
Wow.
get with experience, even showing up late. She showed up with a smile on her face. She just had to carry her 90-pound kit, like 15 blocks, like you would never have known, like just ready to show
Wow.
up, happy to serve as she's unpacking, doing consults. Like that's what you get, in my professional opinion, from a pro team. And she knew that I was focused on my bride and she did not make a big scene when she walked in. And again, kudos to her. She ended 20 minutes early and showed up an hour late. And like the bride was just so happy. And I appreciated just the grace from my client because I assured her and I meant what I said, like we will be fine on time. Like we've buffered for emergencies and we knew that there was going to be some challenges with parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did the best we could. And that was the best we could. She had to park in Chinatown and walk down to Old City. That was the
Wow.
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
I do love that about our specific industry in Philadelphia too, because I know we were in that group chat and we were all kind of sharing tidbits on like how do
Yes, there
we,
was a there
you
was
know,
a
it's
there was
it's
a no wedding vendor group chat about
yeah,
all the road
yeah, like
closures.
let's share information and
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
live updates from various I think all of us are working on Saturday too.
Oh,
But yeah, I love that about our industry specifically. Is it's like it is generally more very team oriented. And it's like, hey, how
Yeah.
can we help each other? Because we're all interconnected, and I
Mhm.
think we
yeah,
value that. Um, to kind of jump back, I was going to ask you about like common mistakes that couples make on the wedding day timeline.
sure. Yeah.
Um, you know, like as it relates to hair and makeup.
Yep.
One of the things that you mentioned though, that I think might be the answer is like you mentioned like it's like showing up with certain steps already done. Like,
Yes. So that's so important. So if you're hiring a professional hair and makeup team, you're not showing up blind the morning of the wedding. If you've hired a good team and the right team, they are going to provide you with like a prep sheet or a hair prep steps or skin prep steps. Please, please, you will set yourself up for success and such a great wedding day if you read those directions and follow those steps. For hair, It's most typically arriving with clean, dry, smooth hair. We recommend washing and blow drying your hair as smooth as possible the night before. If you follow those steps, we then like looking at your inspiration from Pinterest, Instagram, like we will have more time in that 45-minute like time slot for the wedding day to actually do those intricate styles. Like if you've done the hair prep, we will be able to do that now. If you've gone to bed with wet hair and didn't dry it, and then we have to blow dry your hair, we can't just make up that we can't just like pull that time out of thin air. So now we're looking at, instead of a 45-minute service, most likely an hour service, which is fine. Again, we're never going to turn you away on the wedding day, but we have to make that up on the back end. So unknowingly, like you might be having done that, like we might have to shortchange the amount of time we're working with for another bridesmaid. Again, we will do a beautiful job, but it does affect it's a snowball effect. Like we're not just going to be able to invent time, and we always have a buffer. But if everybody doesn't follow the hair prep, that's when things, that's a challenge for us then. So if you have hair prep or if you have skin prep, please read the hair and skin prep and follow those instructions. It will just make for the bride, if you're a bridesmaid, that will make her wedding morning go that much smoother, because our brides, like, they are following their prep. And what I will say, clients that are working with me personally with the Aimee Beam experience, that comes with a blow dry, and I allot for an hour and 15 minutes instead of the 45. So again, a great question for a bride to be asking is, when you're looking at the hair prep, if you're envisioning a blow dry before the style, you can usually like pay for that add-on. My clients working with me, that comes with part of the experience, but we're having these conversations before the wedding. Okay, who wants blow dries and a style? Who wants just a style? Like I have clients that value, they want to sleep as late as possible. If that's what you value, I will deliver that for you. But there is going to be more hair prep on your individual ends, because I can't just invent time. And I think one of the biggest challenges for clients is underestimating how early we need to start. And again, it's that communication. Like if you want everybody to have blow dries and styles, like you need to be prepared that we're going to start early. Like we need an hour and 15 minutes typically for something of that sort. So it's just being realistic. And again, back to communication and, reading. If your vendors are sending you something to do, they're doing it for a reason. And it's to really just help your entire wedding run smooth.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm hearing is, if you are part of the wedding in any capacity, whether you're a bridesmaid, a groomsman, a wedding vendor, be
Yep.
a team player.
Yes.
Do the work.
Be a team player. Read your emails, please.
Yeah. So to kind of like take a little bit of a left turn here, because you've been doing this long enough, you've seen so much. What's like one of the funnier moments or unexpected things that you've seen at a wedding?
Sure. So I think it's funny now. I'm sure you have many of
How
the
usually that
kissing
works.
moments.
Yeah.
It's funny now. I want to say wholeheartedly, in case my client's listening, I know it was extremely, extremely stressful at the time. But it was a couple years ago. I'm working with a great vendor team. I'm talking a planner we love working with, a venue I love working at, a makeup artist that I work with her team almost every weekend. So like this is where I think it also plays in the part. Like she hired a great team, and a great team can be really adaptable in this situation. I got a text message when I was driving to the wedding that did I by chance have a pair of wellies in my car? Now it's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. I'm driving to Bay Head, New Jersey, to work at the Bay Head Yacht Club. We love coastal venues. I really think our touch-up experience is so important at these venues, because again, we continue to care for the client through all the elements at the shore. So I was super excited to get to my client. And no, I did not have wellies in my car. It was a sunny day. And unfortunately, the tide, even though it was a sunny, beautiful day, the tide from the bay and the ocean and the moon, it's like happens once every 10 years. And it's very unfortunate that it happened on my client's wedding day. But the actual street to her parents' home, which was literally, you could see the Bay Head Yacht Club from her parents' home. Her plan was to walk from her parents' home to the venue, was completely flooded. Like cars could not get in and out.
Wow.
And all I assured her was like, I'm going to get to you. don't you worry. Like, we will figure it out. But when I pulled up, my God, like, no, my car could not get to her. Like, we could not get to her. And, do the fast thinking between the family and the planner and the bride. I was 8 months pregnant at the time with my second child. I have three children, and I am being brought in and along with like the makeup team, like on a flatbed truck.
Whoa.
And the truck was like really jacked up, and I have my kit. And he put a folding chair on there. I'll never forget. I'm sitting on this folding chair, and I'm like being driven in like through this flood to like get to my client because again, like I will get to you no matter what, road closures, floods. So that was so funny in the moment, like just like me with my team and with the makeup team, like we had to park like a mile away, and we're being brought in on this truck because literally hell or high water, I will get to you and I will
Yeah.
style you and I will not let you down. If you hire the right vendors, like they're not going to give up. And like I could just see like certain, if you were new in the industry or
Yeah.
if this was your first time like really dealing with like that was pretty emergent. That like you might be really flustered and like not know what to do or not, but like I just know I have to get to my clients and my couples. So it's just so funny because it was such a sunny day and like you would never think this
Yeah.
was going to happen, but it did, and there were a lot of tears and a lot of stress because there were so many moving parts for all the vendors that had to get to the yacht club and all the vendors that had to show up for the client on this day. And the planner is staying so calm and is literally doing things that they never thought they would be contracted to do on that
Yeah.
day. But again, when you hire a pro team, like you're gonna be taken care of. That's the moral of the story. Like hire wisely because sometimes unexpected things happen. And her wedding, her hair and makeup was so beautiful. And again, I feel like in these moments of unexpected, really things out of your control. Like I find the right vendors show up even harder. Like
Yeah.
I tried so hard that day to like, I knew that like what was happening was so out of her control. It's this beautiful home and literally all you're seeing in the street, like floor to ceiling windows is like the water rising. And that's like very, very, very unsettling on your wedding day.
Yeah.
So I felt like the whole vendor team of vendors were like, just trying like so hard and we're like really going above and beyond and really showing up. And that was a really great feeling. But a flood on a sunny day, I mean, that's just something like you don't plan for.
That's wild.
And she looks, I think, fondly back on the experience now. And she has referred so many clients. Thank you so much. She's referred so many clients to me because she just felt like so taken care of
Yeah.
in the midst of something so
Yeah.
unexpected. And
Yeah.
it made her feel better to have her groom with her. They were supposed to have a first look, like they decided just to all like be together. And that was so beautiful to witness. So like again, my advice to clients, like if something goes off track and something doesn't go exactly as you planned, like it was so beautiful. Like they had that memory of being together because they were trying to problem solve and
Yeah.
work together. And it's just really beautiful. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a story that just like coming in on that flatbed truck that I'll never forget to get to my client no matter what.
8 months pregnant.
Yeah.
8 months pregnant. I'm like sending videos to my mom. She's like, "That's my grandchild. Be careful
Yeah.
up there." I was
What
like, "Look how funny this is."
what is a welly?
Oh, a welly is
Yeah.
a boot that
Yeah,
comes
like a
up to
boot.
your calf,
Yeah.
like so
Oh.
that your legs and feet aren't getting wet.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, vendors were
You do
having
that?
to literally
Oh.
like swim to get to her, but they
Is
did.
I grew up with fishermen, so
Oh, okay. That's like a it's like a sporty person's. Okay,
well,
that
yeah, ish.
makes sense. I have no idea. Um, I love that. Your story does remind me a little bit. One time there was a blizzard that we had to shoot in, and
hmm
like
I've had to do one of those too. Yeah, I had to sleep
oh,
over the night before. We have protocol. We have protocol in place.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So
That's the
that's what
protocol.
we were only one of maybe a couple vendors that decided, and a bunch of vendors literally couldn't come in, and then
Ugh,
half of the guests couldn't show up.
Yeah.
so disappointing. We've had that too. We got
Yeah.
invited to the wedding because of that.
Oh, really?
Because they had unfortunately 50 people had to back out. I mean, it was state of emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really challenging for the couple. Yeah.
When was that? When was ours?
Um, God, maybe 3 or 4 years ago,
Okay.
maybe 4 years ago, like in January. There was one January and February where I swear every weekend my team was having, because again, our call time is early. It's 6, 7, 8 is like a late start. You know, if there's a chance of ice, we have our team sleep over the night before. And again, it's really challenging from the vendor perspective. My team has families and they have
Yeah.
other commitments. Like they were contracted for the day, not for the
Yeah.
night before. And again, that's where, having a larger team, if I have to sub people in for that, like I will. And clients are always grateful because they know a good person's gonna show up on their
Yeah.
team. But yeah, real professionals will be there. And it was, yeah, really challenging for sure. I felt for my couple. But again, every vendor that could make it there and that was there for that couple, I felt like everyone was really going above and beyond to like help the couple rise above. And again, do the best with what you can in the situation.
Yeah.
So when you hire people, you're hiring people that are going to help guide you through not just like when everything's going great, but you're going to hire people that are going to help steer the ship when,
Right.
the
Unexpected things happen.
unexpected happens.
Yeah.
So we know what it's like being a business owner and a micro business owner where you are managing teams and also all the other things that come with owning a business. And also you're a mother and a wife and a friend and a daughter. How do you take care of yourself?
Taking care of yourself as a wedding professional, as a business owner, as a mother, as a friend, as all these hats that I'm so lucky to get to where I think I've given myself the grace now to know that that's not going to be consistent throughout the year. During peak wedding season, um, I know that I'm not taking care of myself as good as I probably should. Also, like this year in particular, I had a baby 8 weeks ago. So like really right now, like I am in more of survival mode
Yeah.
than I wish I was. But I also know it's temporary and I have the foresight. This is my third child. This is something I chose to do. I'm at a place with my business that I'm so grateful that like I had the ability to choose to do this and I did. And I knew it was going to be tough for a very compressed period of time having another child right before a very busy season, and I wanted to still show up for my couples. So I'm working through the postpartum period, and again, that's my choice. But I also know that come December, I'm going to have a very intentionally. I didn't hire any new weddings like after December, like on purpose to give myself the time and space. So for me, that's spending a lot of time with my family. For me, it's really trying to not work Sundays if I'm working, a 3-day event, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to be present at my children's. I get fueled up by watching my children do their activities. I enjoy, going to the gym. Like these are all very basic things, but I feel like it's so important to like have them on a list and have that, I'm a person too, and I own my own business, but I'm not available 24/7. Like I really try not to touch my phone on Sundays, like at all. And I'm sure you guys can relate to this. From being on for so long, I feel like even me as a high energy person, I feel like I need the quiet come Sunday. One of my hobbies is cooking. I love cooking on Sundays. I love having a big Italian family Sunday dinner, whether that's my mom cooking for me or me hosting my family. A lot of people be like, isn't that a lot of work after working? But again, that's something that fuels me and it's doing something intentional with my hands where like I'm not on my phone or with clients and comes very natural to me and it's just something I really enjoy. But I also want to say the wedding vendors or business owners, during my busy season, I'm outsourcing a lot and I find that that's okay too. Like no shame in my game. I'm outsourcing, grocery delivery. I'm having my house professionally cleaned.
Yeah.
What else does self-care look like for me? We're getting takeout when we have to. Because I'd rather be able to show up for my kids and see their activities during the week than worry about, cooking,
Grocery
even though I
shopping.
love cooking every meal from scratch and grocery shopping. So I find, and it's not always perfect, and I want to acknowledge that too, but I have done a better job 12, 13 years. I'll be starting my 13th year in January, owning the business this long. I've also known that like I can adapt and like if something's not working, I can shift and it's not all or nothing anymore. And I'm so fortunate to have a good support system at home. My husband works a very traditional job. And if I need to ask for help again, like these are all things you've learned over the years that I'm not failing anybody. I'm just in a really busy time and I need extra help. We paid childcare. Again, all these things help contribute to the long-term success for me personally. And I understand that resting and recharging can look different. I've also really tried to not feel guilty about resting, as somebody who's a high performer and who maybe in the middle, in maybe year 8, 9, like still really valued like being busier was better. I've now really come to like understand that like my body needs rest and I need time completely offline, and that rest is not a sign of weakness.
Nope.
And that's easier for me, just the way I'm wired, to say out loud. But I've been through a period where I didn't rest at all, because like just because I didn't have some of the other systems I have now in place. And I totally got burnout and just kind of the fear of never wanting to go back there. It taught me a great lesson. And I actually am like grateful in hindsight for that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I really know when I've needed rest, and rest is not weakness.
Yeah.
Saying no to an event if I have to. Michael, I want to go to all the events. So Michael and Melissa are going to all these amazing networking events right now for this very brief season with an 8-week old.
Oh,
Yeah.
For me personally, like I can't do that right now. And I know that's not forever. And I have such FOMO not being
Yeah.
at these amazing networking
Yeah.
events. But it's a season. And I feel
Right.
like I've had the long game mindset now that I'll be back. And
yeah.
Yeah.
that season will return when I can go to more things. But
Yeah. Seasons
right
always
now
equal burnout.
I have to prioritize rest. And I
Yep.
think knowing that you're in a season is okay too.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
seasons, like no season really looks the same as the season
Yeah.
before. And you're
Right.
constantly shifting. What self-care could look like is
Yeah.
shifting, and the needs that you need to like
Yeah.
support yourself are different. And I just want to say that yes, we are going to a lot of networking events now, but we are also newly empty nesters. So
Yeah,
it's
no.
like
Yeah.
it's
I
a
know the
completely different season
seasonality,
for us.
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
hard is forever.
Yeah.
No.
But that
Yeah.
was definitely a time where, like pre-COVID, when our girls were like newly teenagers, and even before that, where we were yeah, we want to hang out with our vendor friends, we want to be social, but at the
Yeah.
Yeah.
same time, like we know that because we work on weekends,
Yeah.
during the week was really the time that we had with our
It's so prioritized. It's like
yeah.
sacred almost. Yeah.
And childhood, like now being on the other side, like childhood goes so fast. And when you're
Yeah.
in those beginning years, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's going fast.
Well,
But
I have an 8-year old too, so I
yeah, you
see
get it.
that
Yes, you see it.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's like
So,
we had to
yeah.
like prioritize, like family is so important to us. And I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
our bond is, people see that. Like people see how
Yeah.
Yeah.
close our family is. But that's because we've made sacrifices to not always show up in
Yeah.
Yeah.
networking and,
And that's hard too. Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've said it at the beginning of the podcast, and it's what I feel in my heart. Like I'm a family
yeah,
first person. And I think couples, you know, again, they're hiring us for a service and they're paying us for a service, but
Yeah.
also understanding like if I'm choosing to work with you, and if my team's choosing to work with you, it's a weekend and we own a weekend business and we're choosing to not be with our families. So again, on the flip side, like you were saying, Melissa, during the week, it's such a priority for me to like be at those things for my children, and like that is still a form of self-care for me, because again, that continues to
yeah,
fuel me. So if I'm unavailable for a client for an evening Zoom call, that's really, really hard for me right now. I'd rather look further out, like when we could do it over your lunch. And again, I want to be as available to my clients as I can, but um, just that two-way street of also
Yeah.
like in this season of my life, like I so appreciate the clients that can make a daytime or a
yeah,
lunch Zoom
yeah,
call work. That's so helpful.
yeah,
I think also a lot of times, because we always had really good boundaries
yeah,
as it relates to our kid,
Yeah.
in setting them and communicating that to our clients, is that they're
Yep.
like, oh, I appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
Yeah. At the point of hire for me, I mean, this is getting really detail oriented, but I do the same. Like I try and over communicate, like when I'm available, when I'm not.
Mhm.
And again, it's for it so that I can have the fuel I need to show up for you on the weekend, or know I'm missing
Yeah.
a family event. It's because, we've had that mutual respect, and,
Right.
you know, I, I do my hair trials during when my kids are in school. And clients are always like, oh, does that mean I have to take off a day of work? Like to work with me, like at this point in my life, like, yes, it does. And like, I'm so grateful that 99.9% of my clients can make that work. And if my clients are out of town, there are extenuating circumstances where, again, those circumstances I take on a case by case basis, but we're usually talking about it before we sign a contract and hire.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises, or I'm not disappointing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
I love that. I am I'm jealous that you are still in the thick of your child raising because on the other side it's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you guys had twins, you had the double whammy.
We
yeah.
really did.
Yeah, no, it's so great. And I feel, again, my business has shifted to a point, and it is in my own doing, but I wanted to take on less weddings to be able to offer a higher touch experience, and that was intentional.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just because I wanted to spend more time with my family. I'm still an extremely busy business owner. I have a huge team, do a huge volume of weddings with my associate team. Um, but having the space to take on, let's say, 25 events a year, and they might be multiple days. So again, I'm out of the home still more than
Yeah.
25 times a year. But that gave me the space to be able to like also look at what do I want in my personal life. And for us and my family, that meant if we were able to welcome a third child, which we just did 8 weeks ago, we were able to do that. So I'm grateful for the evolution of my business to be able to give me the space to think about if that's something I wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I
We definitely align with that. It's we have gotten out of that hustle mode. Not necessarily, we do hustle in different ways.
Yeah,
Like
no, and
we
yeah, that
want
drive is still there. I
yeah,
yeah.
understand
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you
yeah.
hustle when you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
for us personally, like we wanted to prioritize all the things. Like we care so much about our clients that we service, and also we care about ourselves because if we are not well and we're showing up to
yeah,
like I like the analogy of like whatever you pour into your cup, you are pouring
sure.
out of. So if you're pouring, burnout and exhaustion,
Yeah,
negativity, like that is what you're
yeah.
pouring out to your couples. But if you're actually like,
Yeah, and burnout is scary. I mean, I got really sick
yes,
from
yes,
burnout. So
yep,
yeah, that's a never again for
yep,
me.
you
So
have
I
to make those
understand
steps. Yep.
deeply that you have to pour into yourself. I
Yep.
so agree, Melissa.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I'm wanting to see more from our industry is conversation about that and, just discussing these topics that aren't specifically about the job or,
Mhm.
the art of it,
Sure.
The not so pretty parts,
because I think a lot of people don't last as long in this industry as we have because they get
burned
to that
out.
point of burnout
Yeah.
and they don't know how
Totally.
to adjust.
Yep.
I was talking to another vendor a couple New Years ago, and it's her story to tell, so I'm not going to share it, but like she was very emotional, and it was her last wedding, and she was just so burnt out. She wasn't sure what was next for her, but that like broke my heart, and it wasn't the time or place because we were on the job and we were on and we were
Yeah.
working, and she was shining. Like she was literally like I felt so sad in that moment for this vendor because the burnout had gotten the best of them. And as someone who like truly experienced burnout, the 2 years after COVID, from you guys remember like the having to make up all those weddings
Yes.
and then honor all the weddings. So I was personally working weddings. I'm not making this up, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was like it was a really intense period of again honoring all those commitments because again at that time I was still personally taking on 85 weddings a year.
Wow.
So to have to make up all of those plus the new clients that we
Yeah.
serviced, it was really challenging. And I know there were a lot of unique things, but like I learned a lot about burnout and just needing to like making sure I was mentally, physically well to be able, like you said, Melissa, to show up for my clients. So that was a really hard lesson to learn. It wasn't a great time for me. Again, I showed up for my clients, but that was like drudging through the mud. And I'm just so grateful to like feel so great. And the reason I do is because, yes, I learned those lessons and now I make sure I'm taking care of myself and I'm having downtime and I'm going to my children's events during the week and I have better boundaries set up and I know what I can take on to feel well and to do a great job. And I'm not just going to chase like to be busy to be busy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Ah, I love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you're.
Okay. So, to kind of wrap things up, is there, because you have two brands, so I'm
Yes.
curious, as far as like moving forward, what does the future look like with those two brands? Like, what is your vision there?
Sure. So I have two amazing companies, as Michael said. I have a team-based associate artist business called Top Knots by Aimee. That was my first business, and there, my team provides what we call like the traditional wedding day getting ready hair experience. So we are typically showing up 8 a.m., and we are there until you have to get in your dress. And we do a final touch up then and say our goodbyes. And, we pride ourselves in that the hair we create that early in the morning, like it truly will last all day if you're not a client that's seeking at a different price point, full disclosure, for someone to stay with you for those extended touch ups. The clients that are seeking for you to have those extended touch ups all day, possibly a hair change, again, a hair and makeup team that's maybe with you for both your rehearsal dinner and your wedding day. That's where my elevated experience, Aimee Beam Brides, comes into play. And as the owner, you're personally working with me, and my minimum experience starts with that I'm staying with you for a minimum of 3 hours on the wedding morning. And that includes typically through you getting dressed, through your first look, bridal party portraits. And again, I'm stepping in to do touch ups. A lot of times I'm the person putting your veil in right before you walk down the aisle. We're doing a curling iron touch up
Mm.
right before you walk down the aisle. And in a lot of cases, my clients are having me stay for a hairstyle change if they're doing a dress change later in the day. So again, to not get burnout, I'm taking on about 25 of those a year. It's a very high touch experience. And if you really value um, the beauty experience in your hair and having all these incredible beauty looks to match your ever changing fashion throughout your wedding, then those types of clients are best suited to work with me personally. So, what I would love to see in the next my 5 year plan. And it's so funny to say that because as wedding vendors, I feel like you just never know what's coming and you have to be adaptable. And, my business vision, like you have to be very adaptable as a wedding vendor. I'll leave it at that. But what I would hope to see over the next couple of years is my high touch experience, the Aimee Beam Brides experience that comes with the touch ups and comes with, in a lot of cases, like clients that want you the night before and for the style change. I would love for my volume business with Top Nuts by Aimee to eventually become an associate team under Aimee Beam on Location Bridal Hair and attract overall clients that are seeking that high touch experience. So, right now, again, my team is doing about 150 to 200 weddings a year, where maybe in the future it's 75 total team
Mhm.
high touch weddings. Because what I've learned over the years is it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And for a lot of different reasons, I love that high touch experience because it's a deeper human connection. We get to take care of people not just for that short period of time, but for all day. And we get to make the service we offer with the extended touch ups, it truly keeps like the vibes high. It truly keeps like moms happy, the bride happy, the groom's happy because his bride feels so happy. We get to take care of people all day long. And truly, like our clients say to us that, like, with that extended touch up service, like I've never felt like a celebrity in my life. And like today, like with the cameras and the video team and like the extended touch ups, like you don't have to worry about if it's a windy day. You don't have to worry about if it's raining. You don't have to worry about if it's hot, the salt air. We just serviced a client in the Nor'easter over 2 weekends ago. My extended touch ups for the weather forecast for that client. And we kept her and her party, like they weren't worried to like get out in the rain and the winds with the bride. Like that's what the bride wanted. Like they knew we were there and we were going to fix them afterwards.
Yeah.
Clients were willing to like just really be so immersed in their moment because they weren't worried about like messing anything up. So if I can um, build that out as the long-term service we're offering, I would love that. But right now, we're still very proud to offer for this year and next year the two different experiences, morning only and the extended touch-ups. But that's where I'm thinking, just from the feedback I've gotten with the new brand over the past 2 years. This will be our third wedding season where we'll be starting offering that elevated experience. The feedback is there. The client love is there for that. I would love to see my business heading fully in that direction over the next 5 years.
Hmm. I love it, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. And we benefit when you are more high touch throughout the day,
Yeah.
Yeah,
obviously. So we appreciate that.
Absolutely, because we are also the type of people that, yeah, if there's a nor'easter and there's wind, like as photographers,
yeah,
I love wind because it adds like this just like romantic dimension,
sure.
like wildness,
Yes,
but
it
also like
was wild. It was literally wild. High
yeah,
tide was coming for my clients, and
Yeah.
but it's
she
also
just
like
the calmness she had with knowing that like
yes,
She
her hair
could take
team
care of.
was there and
yeah,
she could take those photos,
yeah,
and the bridesmaids too, and the moms too. Like truly, everybody
yeah,
felt like, okay, we can do this because
yeah.
we'll get fixed. If the wind messes us
Yes.
up, we'll get
Right.
Like
fixed.
who cares, right?
Yes.
Ah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate
You
you coming
guys, this was the best. This
on the
was awesome.
show. You are our first hair and makeup artist that we've worked with,
Oh,
and I'm just like really,
happy to represent.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just really honored to have you um,
No, thank
add your
you.
insight and value.
Yeah. And to be honest, I didn't understand as much about what you do as you
Mhm.
just explained to us.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
it's like a renewed
here to inform.
respect, because
yeah.
there's just like with what we all do, there's a lot more
What you
than
see.
yeah, what people see from the outside. So
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I'm so excited to be on the show and really love working together. And I hope I was able to provide some value and insight today. So
Absolutely.
thank
100%.
you so much again for having me.
Of course.
You're welcome.
Now go be with your babies.
Thanks, guys.